our Community Partner Spotlight series. My name is Jessica, and I am an outreach coordinator for North Idaho Pride Alliance. This series is to highlight our community partners who share in the vision of unity, inclusion, and empowering others. Today, we are very excited to be talking with Doug Kim Brown from the LGBTQ Seniors of the Inland Northwest. Doug can share with us the good work they are doing and how you can get involved. Hi, Doug.
Good morning.
Good morning. Doug, can you tell us about the Inland Northwest Seniors Group and about the services and programs you offer to the greater community?
I can address that briefly. Yes, we formed about 3 years ago. We're not an official organization. It's really an informal group. And we meet primarily at the Unitarian Church, Universalist Unitarian Church of Spokane. We are not part of the church. They just lend us the facility. And it started at the request, I should say, of a man named Al Stewart, I believe, who was new to the area and looking to see if there were any services available specifically to LGBTQ people, older. And there really isn't much. I have to say that generally there still isn't very much. We meet, well, up until this time of COVID, we were meeting in person for potlucks once a month on Saturdays. And we were also having coffees once a month in the afternoon, say a Tuesday or Wednesday afternoon. We developed sort of out and about town in the Spokane area for people who want to just go out and have lunch and talk. So fundamentally, we provide a social space for older people who relate to LGBTQ issues to get together and discuss issues as well as have fun. We've done a variety of other things. We had a senior queer prom at the Bar 9 in Spokane, which was a blast last year. We've participated in Pride in the Park, out Spokane. We've also been part of aging panels for discussion of our needs. And I would say generally just sort of, again, informal outreach. Is there more you would like me to address there?
Well, Doug, what is your role at the LGBTQ Seniors of the Inland Northwest, and what are some examples of maybe some specific work and projects that you've done there?
There are no formal roles other than Nancy Avery, who is the liaison between the Unitarian Church and this group. And she's, I would say, the group facilitator, really, at this point, and an ally to our community. And what we've had a lot of discussion about whether we should incorporate as a nonprofit. Do we want to have a formal structure and so forth? I'd say that we've done well just to keep ourselves going as older people, kind of coming together on a social basis and having some dialogue around what our needs are. In that light, we have reached out and partnered with Pride Foundation to produce some events, one of which was the, in conjunction with Washington State medical program in Spokane. We spent an evening showing a film. Julie Stratton facilitated that on senior needs, senior LGBT needs, and a panel discussion afterwards with with people in the medical school as well as medical professionals. We've also had a presence in both Pride in the Park in Coeur d'Alene and out Spokane's celebration and then the booth activity afterwards. We're looking at developing a list of how can we more effectively, what are the real needs of people in this community as we age, and how can we effectively meet them? What do we actually have to offer? We're kind of struggling with that right now. Open for dialogue on that. How much time do we have to commit? What resources do we have to commit? How do we do things? For instance, somebody has contacted us saying that they are unable to take care of their yard at this point. Well, what can we do? So there are interesting topics right now. It's very much a work in progress. Again, primarily, I see ourselves at this point as offering a space for people to simply talk and share. In this time of COVID, it's particularly stressful for a lot of older people because you just have limited means of access. And what we have done in response to that is to form a Zoom meeting space where people can tap in. I believe that either today or next Friday will be the first. I'm pretty sure it'll be next Friday, actually. So today's what, the 12th, so June 19th. We intend to have an open Zoom. We'll email, I don't know, about 150 people on our mailing list and just invite people to come and talk, break into small chat rooms, and just sort of see where that goes. What we have done as informal committee again, we've had now a month of meetings, just talking, first of all, just hi, nice to see you again, even if it's by Zoom, and sort of updating ourselves on our own responses to this pandemic and what we're doing about it, how we're handling it, and how we can best support each other. We are in consensus, there are about 9 of us, I think. We are in consensus that it's really time to reach out to the broader LGBT senior community. So we need to understand how to more effectively use Zoom to do that and see where it goes from there.
Well, great. You definitely addressed my question that I had about how COVID-19's affected your group and the audience it serves and types of things that your organization is trying to do to adapt to changing circumstances. Is there anything else that you'd like to share with us about how COVID-19 is affecting the audience that you all aim to reach, which is seniors?
Well, I think we're all struggling to come to terms with the fact that this is not a temporary feature of life anymore. This is, it's here to stay for the foreseeable future. And it seems to be particularly impactful to seniors. What I hear from people, not just LGBT seniors, but others as well, but particularly this community, there's a heightened sense of isolation for many people, and it's the lack of touch. You just, there are no hugs given anymore, and it's difficult for a lot of people to feel the weight of that, where they feel sort of hemmed in, and where do I go? What do I do? How do I have a social life at this point? A bit of an eye-opener for me. I mean, I'm still very mobile. I regularly drive 100 miles to when I have to do things, but a number of people just don't have a car, and taking the bus is a frightening experience if it's available. So we're kind of struggling with all of that, and I think the dialogue is just very, very much of the moment. We don't have resolutions on a lot of that, but I can tell you it's pretty tough on seniors generally.
How are ways that your organization or informal group works to promote diversity and inclusion, or what do you hope to do, and what type of resources do you hope to gather for aging LGBTQ seniors?
Well, that's a pretty substantial series of questions there. Again, I think it's 3 years ago we started, and it was just started on the basis of who will show up. And I think at one point we had a potluck with about 50 or 60 members. The biggest one was in conjunction with the Spectrum Singers, and that was great because that was probably 75, 80 people at a big potluck, and then they sang for us. It was a wonderful day. It would be nice to have more of that kind of thing. We're struggling with how to reach to the community generally, let alone in terms of diversity. If you're talking about ethnicity and color. And we're very open to suggestions on what to do with that as well. Again, you have to bear in mind that we're 100% volunteers, and we're all gosh, I don't think there's anybody under 65. I could be wrong, but I think it's 65 and up. And we're encountering the barriers that you come up against with aging. One of which is a lot of older people don't like to identify as being older people. And so it's interesting to note that. It sort of suggests that you're not fun, I guess. So as we kind of get past that hurdle and try to be of the moment, you see you see the needs in terms of Black Lives Matter and Indigenous people coming forward and so forth. We don't know how to reach to them right now, other than to continually broadcast the fact that we're here and we're open. And I think we're going to have to see how that all evolves. We actually haven't met physically in person since January. We were going to have a February meeting, and I think it was canceled due to snow. And early March, there was a potluck scheduled, and it was determined to cancel that because of the onset of COVID. So that's January is the last time that people have actually been able to get together in person as a group. And we have no idea when we can reestablish that sort of potluck venue to have people come together again. A couple of us have taken it on ourselves to make socially distant visits, just go to people's houses and stand on the front porch where they're either behind the storm door or go to the backyard and sit briefly. There's several people have done that sort of thing. But that's as much as we can really offer right now in terms of connection. So it's not a whole lot, but we would like to see it grow. And I think we've done very well up until this COVID time to have 3 offerings a month, really, where people had the opportunity to get together and just talk and share. In this time of COVID, again, I think we've done pretty well to pull a Zoom presence together and sort of validate the fact that we would like to stay in operation. We would like to go forward, and sort of kicking around ideas of how to best do that. And again, I will leave you with the first open Zoom meeting should be next Friday, and that would be the 19th of June. We're trying to do this at 4 o'clock on a Friday afternoon, on the thought that might make it easier for people, end of the week, tap in, have a happy note to launch us into the weekend sort of thing. If there's anything else you want me to address, I'm happy to do it. I'm kind of racking my brain for what else to tell you.
No, you're answering all my questions before I can even ask them. And North Idaho Pride Alliance definitely values its relationship with the Inland Northwest Seniors group. And I think that you're doing something really important, actually, and that is fostering the ability for relationships to form. I personally, as someone who is an organizer in the community, I know where the magic starts is the relationships between people, the positivity, the collaboration. And in whatever way that we can, as the North Idaho Pride Alliance, to support your group, we will certainly do that, and including sharing your messages and your opportunities. Because we do have seniors, LGBT seniors that are looking for a place to connect. And I think that connecting with other groups like youth groups and all these things is it's all in the positive. So thank you for all that you're doing.
If I could add to what you're saying, I would hope you would include your summary in this interview. That was a very good reflection back to my very wordy responses to some of your thoughts. I think you put it very well. So thank you.
Thank you.
We look forward to ongoing collaboration. We'd love to see this whole concept grow to make it truly regional to the Northwest, just not to Spokane or to Coeur d'Alene, but really to outreach to the surrounding communities. And at the least, we can provide an online presence for people to tap into.
And I think it's really important, and you might actually be able to develop relationships you weren't before. I know that I had
Right.
never been able to go out to Spokane to the potlucks that are happening at the Unitarian Church, but now I'm being able to connect more with your group just because there is Zoom. And I assume that other people may feel the same way. So I think it's hard to be apart from one another, but it's also, there are silver linings to all of this as well. So I just want to end things off by thank you so much, Doug, for joining in today and sharing all about the LGBTQ seniors of the Inland Northwest. Together, we can show our resiliency and how we react and create new ways of educating, networking, and advocating for LGBTQ people, allies, and community partners. Stay tuned for more community partner spotlights posted on our website at nipridealliance.com, YouTube, and Facebook pages. Until then, stay home, stay healthy, stay proud.
Thank you.